People in life are looking at how do I make a life worth living and a retirement worth having. I have been saying this mantra for more than 1 year at least in my online audio files, but there is someone who has taken my passcode books out of my actual storage unit in Indiana and stolen my passcodes, pretending to be me in cyber crime and identity theft on my life. I have tried to go out to a company that I've had a long-term relationship with called Vistaprint to do some printing of things, and no longer do I have a file. That means that years of intellectual property has been damaged and deleted and destroyed by a monstrous person who has stolen my passcodes. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and the truth is there is always a liar in every company. The liar is the one that says, I'll go talk to him, but he won't go in a uniform to provide that person some safety. That's great. That happened to me one time early on in the cybercrime on my life. That was in, I believe, 2012 or 2013. Law enforcement officers wanted to meet me, so we met at Panera, and I told them what was going on with my Sprint telephony. They lied and said they'd look into it. From that point on, it was nothing but constant badgerment, constant harassment, constant presence of being in my space. And openly it has continued across 6 state lines when I had a vehicle, and it continues even today. The law enforcement of the land don't realize that they have a look and a feel and an assertiveness and a walk and a talk that makes them look out of place compared to other people who are out and about during the daily life of a business day, when most professional men dress a certain way, look a certain way, walk a certain way, and don't actually wear shorts if they're in a profession that requires social networking. We are in a presence of mind and a state of situation with this pandemic that the Lord God is reaping souls. He is taking life through illness. He is humbling people with this situation, and hopefully people are reflecting on their lives to look at where are they now, where do they long to be, and where should they be, and who should they be with in life. People need more time with family and friends is absolute truth. People need more time with people they choose as family and friends is 100% truth. The lies that people tell to release themselves from relationships that they flourished into intimate relations is an abomination to the Lord. When people have discord, it is easy to fix. When people prolong that discord, it usually means they lied, they cheated, or they stole information or property or ruined something for someone else, and they're vehemently trying to avoid their vanity in the way of taking responsibility for their life. It is absolutely incredible to me that there's always something going on in the world. But the truth is that people in this world have the right to privacy of sound, and there's always some monster driving around ruining our privacy and our right to have a quiet afternoon. In life, we must produce new results. To produce new results, we have to prepare new documentation. So while 24 intellectual thumb drives went missing from my bags, and literally my bags of all my legal documentation, all my financial documentation went stolen in the Marion County jail system by a sheriff who alleged that my property would be locked up and safe and sound and available for me when I left. It was a complete, utter, and total lie. The 3 or 4 officers in that situation who were my liaison to the rest of the world outside of a solitary confined cell because they couldn't handle my medical rights in a way that was private at all, like they had done a previous time in this ridiculous situation I've endured, I have to say is outlandish. But openly they said it because of what they felt my body was in their humble physician's ability as a sheriff. Do you get my meaning? That these men felt that they should strip search me for an alleged parole violation because I didn't jump through enough hoops for a judge is not true, that the rest of the world doesn't jump at a judge's pace. And the lies that people tell is that they didn't interfere with my right to get the proper seating. That is the lie that sheriff tell. It is completely 100% provable that siblings interfered in my lawful court case, tainting evidence, tainting opportunity for a fair and easy, expeditious trial. And the truth is, my lawyer did not accept an opportunity to have nothing on my name at all. Her name is not important at the moment, but she was a black mental health lawyer, allegedly assigned to me. I can't say why, because my situation was not one of mental health. It was one of self-defense. I was protecting my life in my home, seeking help from law enforcement at a higher level who was allegedly supposed to protect me in that situation. The hazing and harassment in and out of my home was continuing into my vehicle, into my property, and things were constantly being stolen. Even today, as an individual traveling, trying to put his life back together, when I lay down for a nap, there's someone, even a child, being encouraged to go peek in my plastic bin to see what I have. This is an immoral act that parents entreat themselves with so that they are not caught looking like a snoop and a snitch. They let their children learn the ill ways of the world. In life, we have moments of time to prove who we are in the house of God. And in the house of God, we are either a liar or we're an honest person. People have the right to the professionality of their lives. They have the right to their intellectual property. They have the right to not have someone monstrously, constantly badgering them by infiltrating their computer systems, their phone lines, their software, their applications, and ruining the work that they're doing. I was constantly having someone getting onto my websites when I still had them, changing words, misspelling things on my websites, and I did not authorize anyone at all with my passcodes. The lie that apartment complex maintenance tell is that they don't go in when we're not there. And when a man has a unique Asian-oriented decor, that makes a maintenance man from a backwoods place think he's got rights to snoop around. I had a lot of documents, legal documents, found cut, ripped, manipulated. I found copies of my bank account on a Post-it note dropped within my vehicle as someone apparently allegedly produced a key to my car. I would gas up my vehicle and come back in the morning to find that half the tank was missing, which means that someone was taking my car out for a joyride. You see, we have monsters who work in these facilities who don't make enough money, so they take it out on other people, that they failed in school, that they didn't learn how to socially network appropriately, and that they literally think they have the right to destroy a human life. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and the truth I'm telling you, someone in my family will likely say it's not true because they probably participated in the theft of my property, the destruction of my intimate objects that didn't belong in any sister's hands whatsoever. The liar of my family is the one that the Lord had me give the key to my apartment complex in case hell should happen, and that I be one of the men in my family who had a heart attack at my age. Now, the minute I say that, some officer of the law will say, let's give him one. They will use their energy fields, they will use their energy rays, they will use their technology to give a person a Charlie horse. And I was hit by one time in the middle of a large box store parking lot with a law enforcement officer not too far away. It was an interesting moment in time because I had just left my mother, who bought for me a whopping $3 hot dog at that particular store, Sam's Club or whatnot. And the Lord said, your mother needs you, please go back and see her. So I turned around my vehicle when I still had it at the time. I went back, and lo and behold, she was pleased as punch that I had come back. She was a little lost because of her age, but she did have things in her car for me that someone had produced for me as a gift of, I guess, loving kindness. The problem of gifts of loving kindness is that they can sometimes be tainted with things that violate our rights. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and my storytelling doesn't have to be a perfect, organized passage. It has to make people want to listen till the end. It has to make people want to go, wow, could that really happen? It has to make people understand that every time they violate someone's space, they are literally destroying someone's peace of mind. In life, we have moments of time to socially network in an appropriate way in business settings, in social settings, in public venues, and even in retail stores we can meet someone. Unlike in foreign countries where it's unusual for you to have a social interaction and become friends with someone you meet through a restaurant. You see, in life there are fine lines between a salesperson and a customer, a client and a business owner. But over the course of time, people do become friends, they do become liaisons, and they do become intimate in their conversation. The one that I love more than anything else in the world and I had the most intimate of conversations. It was me who told her not to go to certain parties because it would have demoralized her in our work. In life, we have moments of time to prove who we are in the house of God, and a man of honor always says, that's not a good idea right now, despite the fact I fully feel you have the right to participate in such groups. You just can't do it with people who are your subordinates. It's not appropriate. It'll cause you and cost you more than anything. In life, we have moments of time to talk about the future. The one I love was in my kitchen, literally, I believe, sitting on a counter, asking me, where did I see myself in 5 years? At that moment of time, I lied to her. What the Lord wanted me to say, which I was too afraid to say, was married to you. And that was my response. With all naturalness, all feeling, and all everything I could muster, was to control myself not to say it. I couldn't say it because of the number of relationships that would be impacted at that moment of time. But I believe the Lord wanted me to say it, but maybe my life would be different today if I had just said the truth. That day we went out to dinner on a date. I was so honored and pleased as punch to take her to a fancy restaurant called Kincaid's. I changed my clothes a little bit so I'd be more presentable, but I was so honored to sit there and listen to her talk about her life. It was the happiest moment of my entire life.